All right, I don't even have the time for the perfect setup. All I know is that I'm ecstatic and I just had to share this moment with you all. And so I went to the consignment shop, Goodwill, this weekend, and I bought this book, The Journey to the Sacred Garden by Hank Wesselman. Never heard of him before. No disrespect, I just never heard of him before. But I thought the book seemed a bit interesting. Okay, so I said, let me buy it. It was only $2.92. I still have the tag here. And it says, by using the shamanic method, each person is gifted with their freedom, their sovereignty, and their right to develop spiritually. In doing so, each of us becomes our own teacher, our own priestess or priest, our own prophet, enabling us to receive spiritual revelations directly from the highest sources, ourselves. In the book where he says, in the mid 1960s, I lived for 2 years as a Peace Corps volunteer among the Yoruba peoples of Nigeria. And it was there that I first witnessed something I didn't fully comprehend. It was only years later when I had seen it among other tribal peoples in southern Ethiopia and eastern Africa that understanding came. Among these, among these traditional peoples, when a woman expecting a child enters the last trimester of her pregnancy, the shamans of her community approach her, and with her permission, they place her in a deep state of trance. The shamans then connect with the spirit of the child coming into life and they speak to it, requesting that it reply using the mother's voice. The shaman's questions are riveting. Who are you? Why are you coming into our village? What is your life purpose? Now, when I read this, I thought about Malidoma Patrice Somé when he talks about the Dagara, and they do the same thing. They do the same thing. So that's when he really talked. It was just like two small pages right there, that he talked about right there. See, this is the CD. Let me put it down. When he talked about Yoruba people, but I get always, I said, you know what? He didn't mention Malidoma Patrice Tomei, and I just said, okay, but usually, when you read books, you don't, when you get to the back, right? Right here, I get all the way to the back, right? And he's talking about all of the different sources of information, that he got material from. Like he's referencing different books from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I read his, the things that he talked about, the different books. It says chapter 17, this is where he got the information in chapter 17. He got it from the book, Vision Seeker, and then he goes on to go on to, different points. Point number 15, he says he got this from the Vision Seeker and the certain pages he got it from. And I just like underlined and made some, references. I get all the way to the last page in his right here. Sorry, right here. See, right here. I get right here in the last point. And he goes, for confirmation, see Malidoma Patrice Somes, The Healing Wisdom of Africa, my favorite book. Finding life purpose through nature, ritual, and community. And all I could do is just drop my head. And I got the confirmation I needed because, it's like you go around, you know there's wisdom everywhere and you dip and you take pieces of wisdom from different places, like, but you know what clicks with you. You know what resonates with you. You know what first spoke to your soul. And for me, it was this book. This was the first book. I'm not saying that I didn't get um, little nuggets from different speakers, but this book, when I read this book, I felt like things clicking, clicking, clicking. And I'm not saying that it didn't click as a child when I heard like Malcolm X speak and I heard John Henrik Clark speak. But for me, for a direct source of someone from the motherland, and they're speaking to my experience, it was Malidoma Patrice Somé in this book. So when so I was just trying to figure out, asking questions because this book, let me tell you, this book was pretty easy to read and very insightful. He's done his research, he's done his work, Hank Wesselman, and he's actually out of New York, y'all. Look, here it goes. Anthropologist. He's an anthropologist, and is one of those rare cutting edge scientists who truly walks between the worlds. He did his undergraduate work as well as his master's degree in zoology at the University of Colorado at Boulder, then went on to get his doctorate degree in anthropology in the University of California at Berkeley. Hank served in the U.S. Peace Corps in the 1960s, living among people of the Yoruba tribe in western Nigeria, where he became interested in indigenous spiritual traditions. Since the early 1970s, he has conducted research with an international group of scientists exploring Eastern Africa's Great Rift Valley in search of answers to the mystery of human origins. This has allowed him to spend much of his life with traditional peoples. Now, I thought they said that he did some. Oh, okay, it says, because I know they said something about him in New York in the beginning. He currently offers seminars and training workshops at many internationally recognized centers such as the Esalen Institute in California and the Omega Institute near New York. But they said something. Oh, here. He received, they said, okay, yeah, I know I read something about New York in here. He received his doctoral degree from the University of California, Berkeley, and he worked within 30 years. Born in New York. Yes, he's born in New York. Dr. Wesselson. So that's what it is. He was born in New York. Yeah, I knew I read something about him in New York. But this book, he did his research. He really he confirmed what I already knew, right? And it was an easy read. So try to check this book out. The Journey to the Sacred Garden. This was copywritten in 2003, I believe. So that's why they have a CD, because that's when CDs were popular, CD players. I had one, but not anymore. So it's kind of hard. It was okay, yeah, 2003. So this book is 22 years old, but a good read. But this is the one. This is still my book. But I read this in no time. No time. It's an easy read and it's meant to, but the message hits home just right on it. He really helps a lot of people and will help you on your path. But I'm going back to here. Malidoma Patrice Somé, I'm going to tell you something that he said I had on this page here marked, but this is something that happened to him, and someone was talking to him, a diviner. I will continue my read in the next episode of The Eye of the Coconut Shell. Thank you.